So your property isn't empty because there's no need. It's empty because you haven't built a bridge yet. So you heard me talking about our property in Troy. It is currently vacant on purpose, and we have been talking about how we took this property from it being full to now being empty to now how we're going to fill it. And we've been doing a 3-part series on how you can actually take a property that's vacant and make it full. So in this particular episode, welcome, first of all, to Live for Free, where we transform lives in real estate. And what we're going to focus on this third episode is actually how you can create that bridge. And I'm so excited about being able to jump in detail and give you some of the things that have just transpired over the last day or so related to our property in Troy. So let's dive right in. Now, as I was saying, as we look at this particular property, you already know it was an RCF. We closed it. Now we're sitting, just marking time a little bit, trying to figure out what to do next. And I gave you some good strategies that you should do if you find yourself in a position where you have a vacant property, and then what you do to assess it. Because being able to assess before you move is critical. But this one here, I want to share with you some of the things that we just put in place that everyone should do when they're finding themselves in a situation where a property is vacant and you need to fill it the right way. Now, you already know I talk about programming first, so I want us to still keep that in the back of our minds as something that we're going to do, because I want to make sure that as you're creating this moving forward, you are taking into account why you're getting into this work and what type of programming you want to do. So I did not mention that in the other episode because it really is something you do as you're assessing before you advance. That should be one of the things that you do. But I want to make sure you understand that those are 2 key things that you should do as you're thinking about what to do next. Because we talk about programming first, I really want you getting to the heart of why you're even in this in the first place. Why is it that you want to do this? Because clearly it can't be about only money. It can't be. It must be why you believe you were called to do this work, why you feel you want to create this, and building that legacy and that brand around that big why. Because your big why is your driver. And so once you understand your big why, then you can create programming around that big why. So if you've got a property, I need you thinking about that. Spend some quality time with God and understanding why you're even doing this in the first place. Because what you don't want to do is chase something just because it's something to do. We're not here to chase stuff just because it's something to do. Shoot, I could fly to the moon if I wanted to. I can go be a luxury real estate agent. I could go build a multi-million-dollar mogul. I could be all of that. Like, I could be that. But is that what God really wants me to do? Because He truly gave me the skill set to be all that I just said, especially that luxury real estate agent. I watch all those shows and I say, I would have been a bomb at that. But that's not what God wanted me doing. And that's why I'm not doing that. So as you're finding yourself in this space of a property that you're ready to move forward on, I want to make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. Why? Because I need to, number one, make sure you're lined up with where God has you. And that's the very thing that's going to hold you there. When things get tough, you will not stray from it that far. Will you pivot? Yeah, you could pivot, but it's not going to pivot you that much farther off from where you're going. And let me give you an example. Even as I told you right now, as we are marking time for what to do here in Troy, we are still serving the people who are in our property that might not be my sweet spot. They are there, we're working with them, but the same stuff that's in here, guess what? It's coming out with them. I'm still sharing with, hey, I'm still talking about sustainable skills training. Even with individuals that quote unquote weren't the people I would have selected. It's all lining up with who I am, even though I had to pivot. So I need you making sure that as you're moving into this space, you're doing it for the right reasons. So as we start building those bridges, you're still authentic to who God created you to be. And that's really what I want you to stay true to. Stay authentic to who you are in that space. So regardless of how you pivot, it's going to line up with who you are. You're not going to do something that doesn't line up with who God called you to be. I truly believe that. So with that being said, because I'm excited about where we're going right now and the opportunities that have opened up to us, even in the last few days with where we're going. So if you recall in the last episode, we talked about all those balls we shot out, right? And those things are still out, because once again, until God says move, I'm sitting right here. But I'm excited about everything that's coming back to us as we are analyzing and assessing before we move. So this one piece here is critical to your success. And if you do not spend quality time here, you might miss an opportunity. You guys already know I talk about our local COC all the time. Being connected to your local COC. When you're connected to your local COC, you truly know what's going on. You literally have your thumbprint on the heartbeat of what's going on in that community. And if you're not connected to it and you want to operate in a silo, that's okay, operate in a silo, but you're going to miss an opportunity that could exist had you just paid attention. So I just want to encourage you to make sure that you are doing that work. You are putting your finger on the heartbeat of your community. And the heartbeat of your community is your local COC. And that's what we did. Now, we could have done it first, which I'm okay with. I actually love that I did it in this order first, because we already had the property, we already knew some things already that we didn't have to plug in. But if you're brand spanking new and you don't know anything about this space and you are literally operating for the first time, then that's where you go. You connect with your local COC to find out what the needs are. And when you do that well, you really can position yourself to where you can maximize possibilities in the property that you have. So I want to encourage you to go ahead and look it up online. Go ahead and type in whatever your county is, Cook County COC, Macon County COC, like just type it in there and find your local COC. Identify the coordinated entry or your service delivery committees. Those are the key ones that will be able to talk about housing like you need them to, so that you can get connected. They're the ones who are actually going to get you connected to the local agencies. So let me walk you through sort of what we did in this that really is expanding us into a beautiful area that I'm excited about. So first of all, when we sent those balls out, a couple of those balls that we sent out, we then connected with a few agencies because we already knew some agencies in this area. So we looked online, identified who some key people were, and you want to make sure that as you're tapping into someone like, I would not go straight to the CEO, okay? Don't go to the top of the ladder. Go to the person who's over either case managers or someone who's over landlord engagement or someone's over the coordinated entry, but you want to connect with the right person or in housing for a particular agency. Because when you do that, you're going to be able to get the right person. And if you don't know how to look and search for it online, guess what? The phone still works. That phone still works. Call and just introduce yourself and just say, hey, I'm Tony Wade with the HomeQuest Group, and I see that you guys cater to housing. Who would I talk to if you're trying to house some of your clients? And they're going to connect you. And once you get connected, guess what? Just have a conversation. And all you need is one. All you need is one good person. And let's say that you call and they put you in contact with a case manager. Well, guess what? You build a relationship with that case manager, and then you'll say, let's say you had a conversation. Oh, that's great. You have a few clients that might be interested in our housing. Can I get your email? I'd love to be able to send you over what we have. And then you would send an email out that's catered specifically to her, him, and you're sending your flyer and you're saying, hey, and feel free to share my flyer or print it out and share it with some of your clients. I look forward to being able to connect with you. And guess what? You're going to start seeing emails. You're going to start being connected. That's what matters at the end of the day, is connecting with who you need to connect with. So that's with the agencies. So we had done that before we even got with our local COC in this area. So once we got with the local, because that's actually how you can get connected to the right people in your COC too, because those agencies are also and should be connected to the COC. So those are the type of things that can give you the introductions that you need, so then you're having a conversation with someone that can really help you flush out opportunities. So when we did this, and it was amazing how beautiful it was, and I actually knew some of the players in this particular location here. In Lincoln County, they have their local COC, like there's 3 different counties all in one. Community council, we work here, and I knew some of them from my work in the city. So it worked out beautifully, and we were able to have a good conversation around what we can do. And I would say this, your whole goal in that meeting is to fact find. And you want to find out what is needed. You want to know who you need to connect with. So asking the right questions is important for you moving down this space, and just saying, so, let me know, what are some of the things that you need? I've talked with some people. Remember, we had sent those balls out before, right? So I said, yeah, we were looking at recovery. We were looking at possibly doing assisted living. We also know what's going on in with this particular area, with the task force that they're creating for homelessness. You see how you just speaking a little knowledgeable about the space, because we already did that pre-work before we actually got in front of people. So being able to do that and be comfortable in your own skin, you can really get so much from that, and especially if they can see your heart. The end of the day, you want to make sure that people who hear you and you talk to people, they see what? They see your heart. They see that you really do care about making a difference in the community. You really do care about what's going on where we don't have affordable housing options for people, and they're bottlenecked sitting in transitional housing programs without getting something permanent, or they're sitting in a shelter not being able to get into transitional housing or permanent housing. Like, you being able to show your heart in that space, then, and let them talk. Let them answer the questions that you ask. Let them ask questions of you. Being prepared for something like that is going to be amazing for you. Now, this is the best part, because after you do a meeting with that COC, the leadership, whoever's on the call, you want to make sure you send out a thank you and thank them for taking the time out, and making sure too you're meeting whatever deliverables come out of that meeting, you're ready to operate on those deliverables. So I'm just going to tell you a couple of our deliverables here, which we already have prepared, because this is the work we do. We actually are going to send an email for them to receive a video tour of the property, just to make it easier on them, so they don't have to come out physically. We're going to do the tour and talk on the video as if they're doing the tour with us. Doing something as simple as that, people will appreciate that when they receive it. And we're going to get that to them within only a few days, so that they get it. We want to be that first thing that they get. If I had my way, would have sent it tonight so that they would have it. But you want to just make sure you do it quickly. You don't want to wait a long time. So having some of these things prepared in advance will move you volumes in where you're going. But creating a video description of what it is that you're doing, walking through the property, really showcasing it in a beautiful way. Those are the things that you're going to want to be able to do. And then the best part is, then you have a meeting with the entire group of agencies talking about your program. So that's why it's so important to make sure we're not just talking about property. We're talking about a program and what it is that you're here to be able to assist doing and how you want to partner with them. So not only are you creating an opportunity for them to house their clients in a situation where affordable housing doesn't exist, but you're talking about partnership. They like to hear conversations like that. So I'm excited about the opportunities that you're going to be able to see and witness as we build this out here in Troy. And you can do this too if you're sitting on a property that's just sitting there vacant and not doing anything for you. But remember, that program is going to be critical. So I want to encourage you to create that and build that out so that whenever you are talking about how you're making a difference, guess what? You are making a difference. You're making a difference in the lives of the clients that they serve. And being able to present that well is going to be significant. So let me add a couple of things here at the end of this conversation. If you have not joined my Skool community yet, join. It's at toniskool.com. That's TONISKOOL.com. When you join my Skool community, you're going to be around other purpose-driven leaders who want to create successful transitional housing programs so that they can truly make a difference in the lives of the people that they want to serve. So that's number one. And then number two, I want you to be looking out. If you are not getting notifications, please make sure you subscribed and you get the notifications, because guess what? I'm going to be showing you the steps of us being, like when this gets to the closing end of Troy and you'll get to see both properties completely full operating and programming, I'll come back again so that you'll be able to see what we were able to accomplish. And I look forward to you being able to see that. So go ahead and continue transforming the lives of the people that you want to serve, and I look forward to seeing you at the next episode. Have a good one.